Hi all, welcome back to BRR Knowledge Center. And in this today's session, we'll talk about securing APIs. So nowadays, everyone is talking about how to create or how to develop APIs as part of microservice or macro services. And no one is talking about how to provide a security for your services. So people are using different technologies, even though we can achieve or develop different APIs using kind of a Spring Boot or Python or React or .NET or Java, etc. Different programming language they are using it, but no one is talking about how to provide in a security for all those API requests. Even you are consuming these microservices from different places, like in different applications. So how you are providing the security for them? Okay, in this session, let's see what are all the ways we have to provide a security and how it is going to send that particular request with that security method to the microservice or service web server. Okay, let's quickly get into this discussion and see how it is sending request. Okay, just sharing my screen here, a notepad, so that you will have some information regarding this. Just increasing the font. So securing APIs, this is the topic. So as I said, there are different methodologies we have, and the first method was a basic method. We can say this is a basic. So what is a basic security method we have, and how it is helpful for the services to provide security to avoid vulnerabilities from hackers? Okay, so what is a basic security methodology? Basically, this works by providing your credentials, that is user ID and password, and by setting authorization request header. With that, the value of this thing is being converted to base 64 encode, and then it is going to pass the request to your web server. So I can say this works by providing your credentials. Okay, user ID or username and password. This is the basic authentication, a basic process we need to adopt into your service validation. That is authorization, right? So if you adopt this basic securing authorization method, so how it is being converted is it is being converted into base 64 format, base 64 format string. This would be as I said, if you pass username and password, it will be converted as username colon password in base 64 encode format. You can say base 64 encode format. Okay, and then it passes it to the server. Let us say I have an app, so where it is going to give you the list of users, and my API was something like HTTP and localhost and some port number 5447, and here I have an API for getting users. Okay, so for this API I need to pass basic authentication stuff. Okay, so how to pass this? If you use a basic authentication as part of security, I'll just give an init command, call command here, -x, and this is the get method. Okay, and I can say that here the next one is the URL. You need to mention it here. That is localhost 5447 API users. And you can say you can rename it as locations. That would be great. Without confusion with the username password you are passing in the location basic authentication. So this is the URL you need to give it here. And then next header was, as I told you, This works by providing your credentials, by setting authorization request header. Okay, so how that request header is going to be added to your request was -h authorization was basic. Here, the username password will be sent it, like simple, like this way, something like this. Okay, this how it is sending in the header. And also if you're browsing this from kind of Postman, okay, and it will add some token, Postman token, uh, something like this is the Postman token it is adding, and also it add cache control. I can say cache control. This is no cache, right? So this is the request is sending in the network, like network IP. Okay. So when you select an authorization as a basic, and if you pass that as a username and password, if you want, let me open my Postman here, and I'll tell you like how it is sending, even if you wanted to see that. Uh, if you take any request here, and if you wanted to select a basic authentication, you can select basic authentication here in authorization. So where you will need to pass username and password. This is something like this, and this is going to be passed in the request when I say get. And if you look at here the headers, okay, uh, not here, I think basic, this one. If you look at here, this is how it is passing, right? So authorization was selected basic, and whatever values you are given, that will be converted to base64 in code format. Okay, and then it is passing. This is the Postman header, no, token. So when request is sent, based on a request, it is going to calculate it and add it here. And this is what I have created here, overall basic authentication. Okay, coming to the next one is API key. This is one more approach. So basically, this API key works as based on random string. It works based on random string. Okay, that means you can say unique ID, user unique ID. It is going to be assigned to each API consumer. Okay, and which is going to be assigned to each API consumer. Okay, so this key is passed either as a query parameter or as a request header. So two ways we can pass this approach, or this key is going to pass by query parameter, or you can pass through header. That is authorization header. Okay, so usually we use XAPI key as a query param or request header. So that means usually we use XAPI key. This is what the key we usually use it as a query param or authorization header, request authorization header. So that way we'll read this XAPI key and then validate the request is coming from proper source or not. If you can pass this particular API key, the request would be get same address here. Instead of this authorization basic, so what it will do is it will add here X API key as in a header. That means API key. So that is, I think you can see this over here also. I think in authorization, you just say API key is something and you say header or query parameter. When I say header, when I send request, go and see here, the API key was this one, right? It is sending a separate request here and separate query it has been sent, right? So where it is passing the value like this. Okay, so postman value will be calculated once it is sent, but this would be header was automatically added, right? So that's what I'm saying. So it will not having any authorization here. It simply say X API key and the key you would like to pass. Okay, that key will be sending, and again postman token will be anyway as usually it will be calculated once the request has been sent, and cache control will be added as no cache by default. Okay, this would be the request for your API key process. And coming to the next one was bearer token. This is another approach where we can secure our application. So bearer token, this involves giving access to the bearer of the token. Normally we pass this in the authorization request header with values as a bearer token. Bearer token schema was originally created as part of OAuth 2.0. So this would be, how it will be passing is, so this can be passed via header, request authorization header uh, with value as bearer token. Okay, so this will pass this way, bearer token. And bearer token, as I said, basically created as part of OAuth 2.0. So it was created as originally as part of OAuth 2.0. Okay, so if you look at the request, how it is going to the server, okay, this would be again here in the authorization part, this would be notated as a bearer and then a token. And again, postman token will be as it is. If you go and see here in authorization, if you bear a token, this is the token, if you can see here. And if you see here in the request, it is sending, bearer and token. This is how it is sending. That's what I told here, bearer, and this is the token. Okay. This is all about bearer token. And another one was TLS, or you can say mutual TLS. So this is a standard that keeps an internet connection private and checks that the data sent between the client and a server, or a server and a client that is whether it is encrypted and unmodified. Okay, so that is what the TLS standard basically. And mutual TLS, also called as bidirectional TLS, where both client and server validates automatically for each other. Okay, so TLS is a standard that keeps an internet connection private and checks that the data has been checks that the data has been sent between client and server, or server and client. That is, whether it is encrypted or unmodified, all the checks will be validated, whether it is encrypted or unmodified. This will make sure the data has been encrypted, must be encrypted, or must be unmodified. Okay, if you look at mutual TLS, so this is a bidirectional concept. That means a bidirectional TLS, bidirectional TLS. That is TLS whether where both client and server validates the authenticity of each other. So where TLS where both client and server validates the authenticity of keys each other. That is bidirectional TLS concept here. So client verifying the server sends its digital certificate to the client. The client verifies the server certificate by using one of its pre-trusted root certificate. So most clients use the Microsoft or Mozilla set of trusted root certificates. So at the end of this process, the client knows that exactly who this server is, right? Then server verifying the client, the TLS handshake certificate request message is optionally sent by the server to the client. So the certificate request message includes a list of distinguished name of root certificate that server trusts. It tells the client to respond with its own certificate and any needed intermediate certificates. This is what it is happening in mutual TLS. So here are different concepts we have discussed to provide security when we talks about APIs. Okay, using all this, you can secure your APIs from unauthorized users to avoid security vulnerabilities. Okay, I hope you understand the authorization concepts here, basic and API key and barrier token and TLS and mutual TLS concepts. And I promise if you can implement any of these, your API definitely would be in great position to protect the security vulnerabilities before hand delivering the response to the client. So thanks for watching this video and please subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.